Ms. Tina Andrews, Ms. Hassan Chogle, Mr. M.S. Bukhari, Mr. K.M. Varghese, Mr. Khalil Al-Ghamdi, Mr. Syed Shakib Ayaz, Mr. S. Mukherjee, Mr. S.R. Saha, Mr. Robin Saha, Mr. Subir Shom, Mr. Sudipto Bose, Mr. Debashish Roy, Mr. Amitabh Mojumdar, Mr. Amitabh Ghosh and Mr. Robin Shaha in the ITC room. I'll request these gentlemen to please take their seats in the ITC room. Just one announcement, Mr. Bukhari, since you have interest in food processing also, so there will be many delegates for you in the food processing room. So only Mr. Bukhari is requested, once you have your meetings with the government officials, you may please go to the Tata Steel room. Others will remain seated in the rooms they are allotted. I'll now request who all will be seated in the Tata Steel room, that is the third level, the room adjacent to the Palladian Lounge where you had lunch. The sectors are food processing, hypermarket and export items. From the government we have Mr. J.K. Aika, the Director Food Processing Industries, Government of West Bengal. We are also expecting Mr. D. Chottoraj, Joint Secretary of Fisheries Department, and Dr. S.N. Bisha, Joint From overseas we have Mr. Shubhro Chakraborty, Mr. M.S. Bukhari will join there, Mr. Shahid V, Mr. Rabindranath Goswami, Mr. Shoibal Basu and Mr. Sanju Philip. I'll request this gentleman to please go to the Tata Steel room. In PDR 1 and PDR 2, that is also in the third floor, we have Business in Middle East and Health Sector, Dr. Gautam Basu, Mr. Sudesh Agarwal and Ms. Sripriya Kumaria are requested to go to PDR 1 and 2, which is at the third floor. The Palladian Lounge, it is a miscellaneous sector, manpower, gems and jewelry and other potential investors, Mr. A. Odhikari, Mr. Azim Abbas, Mr. Rudradip Ganguly, Mr. Chinmoy Chatterjee and Mr. Topolina and Ms. Topolina Banerjee. I'll request this gentleman and the lady to please go to the Palladian Lounge at the third floor, which is the place where you had lunch. Just to note, the overseas delegates who are mentioned in your list but not present with us today. Mr. Devidas Aswani, he hasn't come. Mr. Sujat Shetty, he hasn't come. Mr. Azim Abbas and Mr. Rudradip Ganguly. The local delegates whom you have meetings with these gentlemen, you may please reschedule your meetings.